Everybody, and welcome back. Gary DeRitter here. I'm in South Jersey, and as you've been hearing from people who are in different parts of the world, you'll hear some more coming up. You know, we call this group Hi, everybody, and welcome back. Gary DeRitter here. I'm in South Jersey, and as you've been hearing from people who are in different parts of the world, you'll hear some more coming up. You know, we call this group our faculty, since we call it Team Elite University, and we have a group that we would call the kind of the instructors and the trainers or the facilitators that take part in this. And as I mentioned earlier, we have so many people that are part of this faculty who have shared the stage and shared their hearts and talked about, you know, how to do this business and been teaching how to do this the way they've been doing it over a period of time. But if we've been the faculty, well, there's a dean, and the dean is Jeff Mack. So I want to certainly mention Jeff and honor him today. Jeff put this in our hands for the first time out. We're going to be hearing from Jeff down the road, but Jeff has been the person who has really kept the faith. He has just stayed true to our curriculum. He has kept us really on task and very straight through the number of years. And his commitment to Team Elite University, physically there in Provo, Utah, is absolutely amazing. I mean, month after month, year after year, he does schedule his travel, schedule his life around Team Elite University. And so for that, and for the dedication, and for the commitment, and for the example that he has set, we are all so very thankful to Jeff and what he does. Now, again, get back to your journals, get back to your pen, be ready, because you're going to hear now some of the how-to, a lot of the basics on what we do, and some recommendations. Once again, if you have a very active team, upline, coach, sponsor, you want to be sure that they are the first line of information for you. These are general principles, and in some cases we'll get a little bit more specific, but these are the general principles that we all trust and believe in, and that have led to success for so many people along the way. Having said that, let me turn it back to Jason Harris. He's from Beaumont, Texas, and he's going to walk us through as the MC for session number 2. Jason, take it away.
Thank you, Gary. Yes, I'm going to spend a couple minutes with you because we're just transitioning a little bit. You know, Terry, as part of her talk about belief, it went into, you know, you saw some of that lifestyle that you're able to go. If you're willing to dream big enough, work hard enough, it's amazing the type of life that you can create. When we were kind of putting this together, I was thinking about that lifestyle segment. And to me, especially in the midst of today's world, it took on a little different meaning. So I'm going to share my screen real quick with you because I want to show you a couple quick little slides. So when I'm talking about lifestyle, here's some things that I think about. So this is in our local area. So in the past 2 years, it has been insane. We've had 2 major floods. We had a plant explode right in our backyard. And we actually had, and now in today's world. So just this give you a little idea. This is about a mile and a half from our house. And that was the second explosion that happened. So we had some pretty crazy things that were going on in our life and that we had to deal with. And when I started thinking about lifestyle, some of the things I thought about was the fact that my business never stopped during that time, right? We were able to keep going when that was a picture of actually one of my friend's house. They had, I mean, the water was almost up to the roof. We're able to unplug. We weren't actually working so much in the business. We were rescuing people, helping people, trying to get people, you know, safe. And at that time, I mean, there was no going to the stores, there was nothing. But the one thing I didn't have to worry about, because we had continued over the past 10 years, I've been with Nu Skin 10 years, and we had built a business that was not dependent on, you know, our local area. Probably 98% of our team isn't even here locally. Our business never stopped. And so the worry about what happened to our personal economy is that check going to come in? Is, you know, how am I going to feed my kids? Things like that. That was just not a worry. And so to me, that was a whole different take on lifestyle of what is possible if you're willing to, you know, plug in, be teachable, have fun, not quit, being willing to learn a new skill set, being willing to step out of your comfort zone. I know going live on Facebook for some people is like, it freaks them out, right? But being able to kind of step out of those comfort zones and learn, you know, I never, and I mean, honestly, if you would have told me 10 years ago that this would be what we would be doing full time, sewing and just sewing into the lives of others and helping them, especially through these kind of crazy times. Because, I mean, think of how crazy the world has changed in the last 2 weeks or the last 3 weeks. People that were super, super secure in their job aren't anymore. You know, we live where, like I said, you saw the oil refiners that blew up. We have oil refiners all around us. The subset of what a lot of people aren't talking about in today's economy is the oil prices have dropped. And every time they drop like this, we see massive layoffs in our area because of just the economy, right? And so there's so many people that are hurting that we get to be that light in that darkness, right? And give them hope, because this is the ability to where we can generate income from anywhere. We can build a distribution network. We can provide, as you heard from Tanner, some of the most amazing products on the planet to help people, you know, just have their bodies in the best shape that they can be in. So anyway, guys, I wanted to just share that real quick, because that was my kind of take on lifestyle. It was a little different from, you know, kind of those, you know, traveling and that kind of lifestyle type ideas. It's more of the security of being willing to go through a journey to create and work hard to build a business, to when life sometimes really does come up and just kick you upside the head. It's okay, because you have diversified streams of income maybe, or you have a business that's not dependent on your local area. And for the first time, I mean, we are seeing the world in the same situation, right? So anyway, with that, I want to get on to our next speaker, because I love this young lady. She is amazing. Every time I'm around her, like I get really pumped up, because her energy is stinking infectious, and I'm sure it's going to come straight through the computer screen right at you. So our first speaker in this second section is Miss Leata Hunt. She is going to be covering the topics of goals. This amazing woman was a soldier for over 12 years. She's qualifying team elite, originally from Samoa, but now living in Draper, an amazing mama of two. And she is going to go through one of the most important parts of this, which is goal setting, guys. Goal setting is a massive part of this business. So Miss Leata Hunt, I will give it over to you.
Wow, thank you so much, Jason Harris, and welcome to our OTG family globally and all around the world. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedules. I'm sure so much going on. I appreciate you zoning in and zenning in to a space where you will feel uplifted, edified, and motivated, definitely here in our Nu Skin opportunity. And so thank you again for this blessing. I'm so grateful to the Lord for this time to be able to serve each and every one of you on this call specifically today. And so with the topic of setting goals, ladies and gentlemen, I'm so excited to be able to share, you know, at a time where literally it almost feels like hope is lost and people are in a craze, there's chaos, so much going on in the world, and people are scared and there's fear out there. I'm so blessed to be here in the journey of Nu Skin. And, you know, as you know, Jason had mentioned, I was from Samoa, from the islands of the Pacific. I grew up in poverty. I grew up with very little, didn't have much, used to live in a tiny little shack growing up as a kid, used to use these water barrels, if you will, to catch rain, to be able to take a shower daily and use footmobile to get around the island. And then I moved here to this great country of the United States of America, and all around the world, so many great countries, right? And then I come here seeking the American dream, if you will, wanting a better, brighter future for not only myself, but especially for my family and those who I love so much. And I'm so grateful to be able to share with each and every one of you on this call. Jason shared, I've served 12 years in the military here in the United States Army as a military intelligence specialist. And if you've ever seen the movie Taken before, that's to give you a glimpse of the type of deployments I would go on. And so it was a privilege to serve. And I love that career in my life. However, to be very realistic, at the end of the day, living paycheck to paycheck, at the end of the day, I was broke, I was poor, I was barely scraping by, even after 12 years of selfless service and sacrifice to our great country, of course, but that was the price to pay. But at the end of the day, it felt like I was paying the price, my family was paying the price, and we were barely trying to make ends meet day by day, paycheck by paycheck. And then this journey was introduced to me, the journey and the lifestyle of Nu Skin. And let me tell you, my world, I'm so humbled. It has been transformed for, I never thought, imagined possible for me and my loved ones and so many that I've come in contact with. And so thank you so much to OTG Global for this opportunity to share goal setting. And let me just share with you, even in the chaos of the world, be still and know that One Team Global, Nu Skin is here, an incredible company. You just heard from our president, Mr. Tyler Whitehead, and so many others. Let me tell you, be still at a time. There is hope here in the Nu Skin opportunity. But as you're setting goals, ladies and gentlemen, understand you have to know what you want and ask yourself, where are you today? Where are you? How's your health? Where are you at wealth today? And do you have time freedom? You know, those are some of the questions to ask. And even with what's going on in the world, and then also ask, where do you want to be in the future? Right? Paint that for yourself and write those down as, you know, you're learning and growing on this call today. But more importantly, ask yourself the hard questions. You know, when the pandemic hit, were you ready financially? Were you ready to be able to know that your family is safe and secure and that you have all the necessities to get through, even if there was a lockdown or not? And so ask yourself the hard questions of, you know, are you home with your loved ones, or are you now having to be tied to a job or a career that keeps you away from those you love most at a time where they need you the most? And so I'm here to share with you, you know what, allow yourself to dream. Whether you were ready or not, hey, doesn't matter now, right? And I'm here to tell you, now's your moment. Now's your chance in Nu Skin to build. Allow yourself to dream now. Allow yourself to be placed in a situation where you can run in this platform, in this opportunity, so that no matter what happens later in life, you're ready for you and your loved ones and those around you as well. And where do you see yourself from where you're at now, whether it's a job or career, or maybe you own a traditional business, right? But again, where do you see yourself? I really want to share something in regards to my journey specifically. You see, in this journey, if for those of you who are just here just to be interested, just to figure out if this is for you or not, or you're doing this maybe 50-50, or you're doing this only when it's convenient, let me tell you, don't be that person, right? Set yourselves up for a brighter future for you and your loved ones. And understand, on this call, if you are committed, that's where the key line is drawn. It's about commitment. It's about those who come on board and are willing to commit and say, this is it now. It's now or never. It's now or the next pandemic or the next life crisis, if you will. Just like Jason had mentioned a few from his hometown. Pretty scary, you guys, but he was prepared, right? Most of us here in this journey that have built are prepared to be able to take on those challenges. And I really want to share, if you really look at ants, you know, the little ants as they crawl around, right? Night and day, ants are crawling around, ladies and gentlemen, and they're out there working, putting in the time, the energy, the effort. Never will you see an ant walk. Never will you see an ant slow down. Matter of fact, you can pour water in them. You can put something to block them. They will crawl over, crawl under. They will find a way. You guys, no excuses from these little ants. And I'm so humbled, you guys. I want to share, you know, my journey and experience. I came on board. I saw the Nu Skin vision. I heard from leaders like you've heard on this call, and I was inspired by them. I said, wow, if they can do it, I can do this. And I came on board with the ant mentality to run and to build and to work every day, day in, day out, day in and day out. In a matter of 8 months, ladies and gentlemen, my husband and I, Mr. Ralph Hunt, we hit Blue Diamond. And I share that with much humility of heart. It took time, commitment, sacrifice, and being like that ant. I want to share a challenge with you also. You know, I challenge you today when we're done, take time out, go on YouTube or watch any videos with ants and watch them and learn and grow from them. There's a Psalm 1 saying I wish to share on this call. It says, "Ia avea tātou pe oniloi, e ui lava ina laititi ai maini," which means let us be like the ants, small yet mighty, ladies and gentlemen. And you're probably wondering, wow, how did Leata and her family, how did they get to Blue Diamond in 8 months? Well, 2 reasons I want to share with you on this call today. One, I was fueled in such a positive and most profound way because of this. You see, my mom, gosh, I love that woman. She's my inspiration, my role model in life. I owe her everything. And so I'm going to share that my father had passed away 2 months before my mom gave birth to me. And because of that, my dad, unintentionally left behind debt that my mom had to carry through her whole life. And then 2, I want to share that I've been a caretaker and full-time provider for my mom right after high school. 16 years now. Yesterday was her birthday. 16 years now, I've been a full-time provider and breadwinner for my mom. And let me tell you, when I saw the legacy fortune, this is really what nailed me in and made me work like the ant that I was back then 2 years ago and even till this very moment. Because when I helped my mom process her retirement paperwork not long ago, a couple of years ago, let me tell you, my mom's retirement today, only $800 to her name from the government after 35 long working years in the workforce. And God forbid, of course, if my mom were to pass away, that money goes right back to the government. But when I was introduced to the legacy fortune, a willable asset here with Nu Skin, ladies and gentlemen, that whatever rank you build up to, whatever fortune you build here, you can will it to those whom you love most. And I'm so grateful. Our 3-year-old daughter, Oceana, our soon-to-be 1-year-old baby boy, Russ, they're set. And that's why I ran nonstop, because who's to say my husband and I would maybe get into a car accident or die next week, next month, next year. No one knows, right? But at least now we've been able to run and sacrifice and pay the price so that they're set, ladies and gentlemen. And I want to shift into setting goals. You see, as you come on board and as you continue your journey with us, let me tell you, when you're setting goals, state them to be very specific indeed, and really be true to your goals, whatever they may be, right? For maybe some of you now, time freedom. This is something this Nu Skin platform can provide you as you build and work hard and work smart into, right? Do you want to be able to, be a stay-at-home mom or dad or children to take care of your parents or whatever that might be? You get to be your own boss. You get to work where you want, when you want, ladies and gentlemen. You get to have 365 days of leave year after year, and then there's leap year, of course, right? But again, time freedom right in the palm of your hands with this journey and opportunity. And then, you have to jot down your why. Why are you doing this, ladies and gentlemen? That will carry you through the challenges, through the trials, through this journey. Let me tell you, this is probably, one of my mentors said, this is probably going to be the hardest thing you're ever going to do, Leata. But let me tell you, it is going to be the most rewarding as well. So jot down your why, let it grow and let it fuel you every single day. Be very specific of when you're setting your goals and the deadlines. Ladies and gentlemen, place and stamp those deadlines onto your goals and create urgency so that every day you're like that ant, right? No time to waste. You have to get to haste and you have to build for the rainy days. And then next, what are you willing to give up? You see, you have to pay the price of freedom. As a soldier in the military, they say freedom is free. Let me tell you, no, freedom comes with a price. And we pay that as service members, not just in the United States Army, but globally all around the world. Service members know that and they understand that. What price are you willing to pay in the Nu Skin opportunity? Whether a year, 5 years, 10 years from now, another pandemic hits, what are you willing to pay now? Price to pay now, whether that's, your downtime, right? Or whether it's, parties, or whether it's just scrolling on Facebook or watching TV, you guys, whatever it is, right? Pay the price now. Be those ants now to build, so that when the next crisis hits in your family, guess what? You're set and you're ready. And then who will be your validation partner? You have to find someone that's going to keep you accountable. I'm so grateful. The Lord keeps me accountable and in check every day. He's my number one business partner. I have my spouse. When he was working full time, I was trying to retire him. He was my biggest validation partner. 9 months after Nu Skin, I retired my husband. Him and I now in our 30s, young, retired, and we get to bless the world. And my favorite part about this pandemic, ladies and gentlemen, is that we were able to have time freedom to serve those around us. In our church community, we got phone calls. Our neighborhood community, we got phone calls. Our city mayor, we're part of, the volunteer group in our city, they called us. We had the time. So find a validation partner that's going to keep you accountable, keep you running in your goals and your journey and opportunity. And then I want to share a legend on this call today. I apologize that, ladies and gentlemen, it seems like there's no audio going on there, but I'll definitely share this link of Kobe Bryant, a legend, on our Team Elite University page. Check it out at a later time. And I want to wrap up with this, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here to tell you, whoever invited you to be tuning in right now, whether you're with Nu Skin or not, right at this instant, or whoever invited you to be a part of this journey and now you're part of Nu Skin, go back and thank that person. I'm so grateful to my hero who shared this blessing with me, a complete stranger, if you will, who found me at a festival, saw goodness in me, and was able to share Nu Skin. And I've been grateful to be able to serve and help bless many more lives, including that of our own family. We've been able to travel the world in the Nu Skin platform of success trips, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm so grateful to be partnered with so many incredible individuals coming on board, seeing the Nu Skin journey and opportunity like no other. You can live the goals that you set from here on forward. You can make them come true. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to end with this. If you don't believe me, ask the Lions in South Africa. They'll tell you we've been there. If you don't believe me, ask the Sandy Beaches in Bermuda. We were there on another success trip. And speaking of Sandy Tillotson, the founder, co-founder of Nu Skin, I remember when I met her, sat down with her, privileged and honored. She turned to me, she said, Leatha, believe that you can make your dreams come true here in the Nu Skin opportunity. So leaders and all those of you new here, let's be goal getters in the journey and let's be motivated by love. Sandy Tillotson says, let us be a light to the world. God bless everyone. Thanks for letting me serve you on this call today.
Whew. Thank you, Miss Leatha Hunt. That was awesome, 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 awesome. Thank you so much for sharing with us your heart. And yeah, goals are everything. The more specific your goals are, guys, it's like that's that bigger and bigger rudder you have on your ship to navigate these crazy waters of life. Got to be specific, get down to it, get detailed, and let's get out there and rock and roll it. So using this beautiful platform, right, of social media is a way that we can continue to build this business even through trying times or any times when it's good, bad, doesn't matter. Some of you guys have seen my videos in the past where, there was like tropical depressions happening behind me. But it's beautiful. We can do this, right? So the next presenter is a guy that's a good friend of mine, Nick Jackson. We've had some fun in this business together. He's been with the business actually 8 years, but really working it for about 3, like purposely working it for about 3. He's a blue diamond with the company. He used to work with Fortune 500 companies, and now he is sharing some of that expertise with us. And he is going to go into the topic of, social selling. How do you use these platforms in a positive way where you don't alienate people and really use it as an asset to be able to build in your local environment or globally. So Nick, I will turn the time over to you, my friend.
Awesome. Thank you, Jason. Hope you guys are having a great day. Loving this so far. So I'm going to go ahead and share my slides here with you guys and just introduce myself a little bit. So I grew up here in Provo, Utah. I'm actually currently about 5 minutes from the Nu Skin headquarters here in Provo. And so like Jason said, I signed up when I was a college student, 8 years ago or so, and really dove in a few years ago. And for me, my first 5 years, I really struggled. You know, those first 5 years, lots of ups and downs. I think I requalified as an executive about 6 different times. Right. So for those of you guys that have been here for a little bit, that are kind of like, hey, can I really do this? Am I just wasting my time, or can I really do this? Well, the answer is yes, you know, and for me, obviously, with everything, with the situation happening in the world right now, there's a little bit of uncertainty, right? And, you know, as far as what's to come over the next, you know, couple months, year or so, how this is affecting the economy. And, you know, I finally got to that point a few years ago where I just said, you know what? I've been around this business for a long time. I've seen so many other people succeed, and it must work, right? I mean, I'd seen so many people qualify for success trips and achieve their goals, and I just realized, you know what, like, I'm sick and tired of not having the results that I want to have. And so I made that decision. I finally got to that point where I made that decision. And I said, okay, I don't care how long it takes, how bad I am at this, how ugly it is, you know, me going out there and trying to do this. I'm just going to give it everything I've got every day. And I'm just going to put my head down until I get where I want to be. Right. And I got to that point where I said, you know what? There's all sorts of reasons of why I could doubt myself, of why I could maybe, you know, feel like I'm not good enough, or I'm not worthy, or I'm not deserving of that success, and feel like maybe other people are better than me. That's why they can do it. And, you know, all of that garbage, you know, that sometimes we have just from life experiences, for how we were raised, things we've experienced. And I just decided, you know what, I'm going to just choose to believe that I can do it. Right. So I started to fill my mind with, you know, a vision of my future instead of focusing on all the reasons why I couldn't do it. Right. I started to live now from that place of where I wanted to be. Right. Waking up every day with a vision. Right. Waking up every day and looking at myself in the mirror, in the eyes, and telling myself that I can do it. Right. Doing those affirmations, and I'm getting myself to feel now how I would feel if I'd already achieved those goals. And so, you know, that was huge for me. Basically lock out any ounce of doubt and disbelief, suspend that disbelief. And I just got into massive action. I said, hey, you know what? I don't know how long it's going to take, how many people I'm going to have to talk to, but I'm just going to put my head down and work as hard as I can every single day to get where I want to be. And for me, that was the key to success, right? And so over the course of 9 months, went from, you know, a struggling distributor to being able to achieve Blue Diamond status, and, you know, being able to help other people along the way. And so obviously the journey continues. We're still, you know, pushing for more and wanting to make a bigger impact. And so, you know, I'm going to share with you guys some thoughts today about some practical things about what you can do to start making money working from home. And so, you know, if you're not taking notes yet, this is a great time. Get out your notebooks, start taking some notes. But you have to understand, with what's happening in the world, even before the situation we're currently in with the coronavirus, so many people have been looking for ways to make extra income. All right, Bankrate.com says nearly 40% of Americans have a side hustle. These are the things a lot of people have been doing. You know, I have somebody close to me in my life who works in medical sales, in the orthopedic space, and those are mostly elective procedures. Right, all elective procedures right now are not happening, and he's on 100% commission. And so, what happens to your income in that situation? And he's actually been driving for Lyft. However, you know, he told me just this morning, you know what? If it wasn't for this situation, I could have made an extra $500 this week driving for Lyft. However, with the virus, you don't know who you're being exposed to, right? So, so many people, right? Maybe before they were doing Airbnb or they were driving for Uber and Lyft, and now that's not possible. And so they're sitting at home. You know, maybe the first couple of days of quarantine and working from home, it's kind of a vacation, right? They're just hanging out with the family, having a good time. But, you know, people are starting to think about, how am I going to pay my bills? What am I going to do? And so people are going to be more open than ever now to this business. And so why I believe this is the perfect business is, you know, we have a solution for all these people. Forbes already, outside of this situation, had stated that 79 million people were going to start their own home-based business in the next 5 years. And so what I love about it, you know, it's free to join, no required purchases, work from home, no employees. You don't have all the risk and headache of a traditional business, and you can scale it, right? Have that leverage income and scale it so much bigger than most other things that you could do. And so I'm going to get into how to use now social media. You know, when I looked over the years at the most successful leaders in the business, a lot of them, you know, had a story of where they launched a new market. You know, my upline is Brent Bryce and Jeff Mack. So I hear their story about launching Thailand and Southeast Asia. And When I saw social media really take off a few years ago, I said, you know what? This is an opportunity now where we can reach people all around the world and connect, in seconds from our fingertips and be able to make an income and make an impact. And so I'm going to go into, so what can we actually do? Right? So what can we actually do? These are the 6 things I'm going to walk through that you can start doing today to start making extra money. And so if you're brand new, what's been recommended by OTG over the last several years is, a 3-post cycle of getting started. And so this is just a series of posts you can do. The first 2 posts are designed to recommend and share a product and put money in your pocket. Then the 3rd post is designed to share the opportunity and help you expand your team and help other people get started as well. And so, first of all, you're going to choose a product, right? A lot of people work with the whitening toothpaste, maybe other products as well. I think what's the most important thing is you're doing social selling is you need to share your own personal experience with a product, not just a copy and paste template. If you really want to have the best results, you should share preferably your own before and after picture and share your own story of what the product did for you, how it's impacted you and what you love about it, right? So always, sharing before and after pictures as much as possible, limiting just posting pictures of bottles and tubes of products, and always showing yourself and the impact that product's made for you. And then, recommend obviously in private message, that's where you're going to talk about the price, answer any more detailed questions, and collect orders and do those things. And so that's your first post. Right? So get with your sponsor and talk about, hey, how do I start doing my first post today? Second post, we recommend to do within 24 to 48 hours of doing that first post. And this is a call to action. A lot of people maybe did not see your first post, or maybe they saw it, but they got distracted and they forgot to reach out to you. So this is basically you letting people know, hey, I'm placing an order. Let me know if you want to be added to the order. Okay, so you're going to do another post about the same product as the previous post. And again, sharing your personal experience, letting people know. You can add a before and after picture, add a picture that says, hey, that creates a little bit of a sense of urgency that says, hey, last call, last chance before I place my order. And then obviously in private message, that's where we recommend to talk about price and those other things. And so moving on now to the OMG post. This is more for recruiting purposes to share the opportunity. Okay, so our goal within your first 3 to 5 days is for you to make money and also to have new people joining your team. And so as you're sharing the opportunity, you want to talk about why you joined Nu Skin and why you're excited. So this is an example of a recruiting post somebody could do today. That I put together. So me pretending that I am a woman. Okay. So I just said, hey, I'm so grateful that I found an opportunity to work from home during this current situation. I normally cut hair and pick up shifts as a waitress, but my income has taken a big hit over the last couple weeks. So you want to share your story, right? So people can relate to you. So people can, instead of just hitting them with, hey, boom, I have this opportunity, join my team, join my business, let's go. You need to take some time, share your story, relate to people, share maybe some of the struggle. What made you open to learning about an opportunity, right? And hey, I found this to be a great solution for me for these reasons. Free to join, work from home, no required purchases, extremely flexible and simple, amazing products and beauty devices, incredible support and training, right? So we want to get away from any income claims in these types of posts. And then at the end, just let people know, like, hey, I know so many people have been affected by what's going on in the economy right now. Please get in touch with me if you'd like more information, right? So coming from a place, instead of saying, hey, you were wrong, you should have joined my business a long time ago, I told you I had, that you should have been doing this, come from a place of love, coming from an intention of wanting to help and serve other people, right? I recommend to add a recruiting picture, a picture that's going to catch their attention, right? If you were to share a picture like this, work from home, even better, share a picture of you actually working from home. Have your daughter, your son, your spouse, significant other take a picture of you at your computer or on your phone and talk about how you're working from home. You're making an income and helping other people from home. Okay. And then obviously I recommend connect with people in private message about the business and just help them get started like you did, right? Hopefully with your team, you have a very simple way to get started that you can teach others and that can be a simple way for people to get started. Okay. So then as we move forward to just in general doing posts about products, right? To be able to promote and sell a product. Again, choose a product, share your personal experience. And these are all posts from people in my team or my brother's team. And so what you see in all of these pictures is that they are actually showing themselves using the products. You know, they've got the mud mask on their face, they've got the tanning gel on their legs, they've got the Power Lips on their lips. They're talking about their personal experience. They're not talking about all the ingredients and the features of the product. They're talking about the benefits, right? People buy the end result. They're not buying a sunless tanner. They're buying looking and feeling amazing because they have that tan, that glow, right? They're not buying a mud mask and that it comes from, here's where it comes from and here's how many minerals it has in it. They're buying the end result of how it can make their skin feel, what it can do for them. And so you always want to think about what's in it for me. Okay, so obviously following those same steps, sharing your product experience, adding pictures, showing yourself actually using the product. And then what I recommend is add value, right? So as you go out there, you know, for example, I'll share one example. I shared a story on my Instagram and Facebook about some of our nutritional products help with your immune system. And at first I didn't start off just saying, hey, here's my products, please buy them. I said, hey, you know, what's going to help your immune system are these things, right? Is, hey, getting enough sleep, getting proper nutrition, eliminating stress, eliminating, you know, exposure to pollutants and toxins, right? And so kind of educating people about what the situation looks like, and then saying, and hey, you know what? And above and beyond that, getting enough sleep, proper nutrition. Hey, I have these products that could help you do that, right? I talked about Life Pack, great for overall nutrition, talked about Reishi G3 and how that can provide some extra immune system boosting, but obviously never making any claims about, you know, that we can combat any disease or virus or anything like that. So as we go into individual recruiting posts, you know, we want to share our personal experience, share what this business has done for us, right? You want to start to share your lifestyle. And, you know, here's a picture from Alyssa on my team. She shared a post a while ago that she's so happy that she was her office was the beach that day. You know, what it might look like maybe today is on the far left-hand side, where this is a screenshot I took of a Zoom call where we were all, you know, chatting on Zoom actually this morning, getting ready for this meeting. And so you might talk about, hey, so glad I can connect with people from all around the world. And we have this amazing community, because I'll tell you what, in a time like this, you know, people are maybe stuck in their homes. They're lonely, right? They're anxious. They're kind of stressed out. They're not sure what's going to come in the future. And so when we can be able to provide, you know, above and beyond just the benefits of, you know, the business, making an extra income, the flexibility of it, also a sense of community, right? And talk about how we have this empowering community and how that's, you know, playing a role in your life and how you're growing as a person because of that. Okay. And so that's the adding value, right? Showing people how you can help them in all those different aspects. And so some other ideas: go live and host a watch party. More than ever, people are on social media consuming content. You know, you're seeing all sorts of people. They're so bored, they're getting on TikTok and other apps, you know, and making funny videos because they're just trying to kill the time. And so when we can go live and talk about, you know, with the business, share your story, why you decided to join, how you were introduced, what was happening in your life that made you open, that you wanted to change, and why you decided to join it, and why you're doing this, where you see yourself going. Okay, that vision that you have is so important. About the products, go live and do a live demo of the LumiSpa, of the Accent, of the Sunless Tanner, of, you know, the product that you love, and talk about, you know, the benefits of why you love this product and why you recommend it. Okay. And then also, when you're going live, you got to be in a good place. You want to make sure you have high energy. You want to be the light for people in the world right now. Right. And so just outside of posting about products and business, you know, be the light and share positive things, because there's so much negativity. You know, if you watch the news, I mean, that stuff will just tear you down, and, you know, you're going to feel like the world's coming to an end. And obviously, you know, we'll get through this and be stronger because of it. But, you know, don't be afraid to put yourself out there. Also, stories. Okay, so stories, you know, are really a majority of what's being consumed right now. And so, you know, here's some examples of Alyssa showing herself using the products, right? Talking about Power Lips, what she loves about it. And then there's some stories about the business as well, right? So I posted last night a story on my Instagram, and I said, hey, prepping for a special online training to teach thousands of people how to make income from home tomorrow. So my purpose in that was to create curiosity, to be dripping on people. It's not always, hey, join my team, buy right now, sign up right now. It's creating that curiosity, because this is a long-term thing. It's not just we're not just doing this while the virus is happening, while we're stuck in our houses, but this is a long-term business, right? So you're continually dripping on people, creating curiosity, and talking about the benefits of what you can offer to people. Right. Another one here from Alyssa saying, I spent the last few hours helping people start their new online business to make money working from home. Right. Picture of her with her computer with the Nu Skin website open with some of the Nu Skin products there. Then also, we're hosting online Zoom calls a couple times a week to share the opportunity. Right. And so she promoted that, saying, hey, we have an online call tonight at 7:30. If you'd like more information, learn how to make an extra income working from home, let me know. I can send you the link so you can tune in and listen to it. But stories are a very powerful way where you can be a little bit more aggressive with your stories of promoting your products and your business. Obviously, we do want to keep in touch the 80-20 rule, where 80% of the time you want to be focused about talking about your life, and then 20%, your life, that could be something funny, it could be something motivational, something about you and your family, something you're passionate about. Then the other 20% could be talking about business and products. Right. And then with stories, there's all sorts of fun features, for polls and questions and countdowns that make it really fun. And so, next is a lot of people have been building their business based off referral posts or shout out posts. And the purpose of this is to reach a wider audience. And so you're going to basically reach out to a friend and say, hey, would you be willing to do a post for me on your profile? Right. And what we want to do is, the purpose of this, let's just say you have 1,000 friends on your Facebook. You can only reach 1,000 people, but there's over 2 billion people actively engaged on social media every month. And so, how do you reach more people? Well, it's by expanding your reach, right? Working through people to expand your reach and expose your products and business to other people. And so, you want to make it really simple for people. Show them what to say in the post. If you have a template, great. But you basically, I would recommend give them the words more or less of what they should say. And, they can tweak it to fit their personality. Obviously, that's going to be important. Adding a before and after picture, right? That kind of captures people's attention. People are scrolling so quickly through their social media. You want to be able to add that before and after picture. And then what they're going to do is they're going to tag you in the post, and you're going to follow up with anybody that comments as if it were your own post. Right. So you're going to follow up with them and then collect orders. And I'll just share one success story from doing this. I had a buddy of mine here in Utah do a post for me. Had to ask him a few times to actually do the post, right? So be persistent. He finally did it, and a woman back in New York became a customer. And she loved the product. I had no idea that they were struggling financially. And I said, hey, would you like to make some extra money recommending this product on social media? She said yes. And she did some posts, right? And things really took off. And over time, she became a brand representative. And that led to brand representatives in Utah, Florida. She was in New York, and actually brand representatives in South Africa, right? Because one post allowed me to reach more people. And I have, some great leaders in my team here in Provo that also came in from that post. And so also attraction marketing. So people join you before they buy into Nu Skin. And a quick story on that, my brother, when he came to me to first talk about Nu Skin, he said, hey, I'm doing Nu Skin. Here's how we're doing it. He talked about the what and the how, but he didn't necessarily talk about the why. Until, he kept going with the business. I said no, and he kept going with it. And, and I saw his vision transform. I saw him, he came back from a big event in Thailand, and he came back on fire, talking about being able to achieve a higher level of financial independence, of having, the control over his time to be able to travel the world and be able to make an impact and be able to, live life on his own terms. And that's what really spoke to me. Right. So I bought into his vision. It wasn't so much that he said Nu Skin's amazing, they've got great products. It was, I bought into his vision. So people buy into you before they buy into anything else. You need to make sure that you're sharing your vision of why you're doing this and where you see yourself going. Right. You want to add value to your audience. This is a post I did on New Year's Day talking about, my New Year's resolutions, talking about where I see myself going, what I want to change, what I want to improve on, what I'm going to apply to my life to take my level, my life, my business, and everything I'm doing to the next level, right? So add value, share the things you're reading in personal development books, share the things you're reading from your team calls, share your takeaways from this today, right? You want to provide social proof. How many of you guys have taken a screenshot of the call this morning and posted and said, oh my gosh, we have 500 plus people, 700 plus people on our call this morning, learning how to make an income working from home, right? And that's that social proof, okay? And then, you know, we're not doing so much events anymore, but, you know, this is social proof, right? Fun experience with Dan McCormick up on stage. This was the wrap up for one of the corporate events a year or two ago. And, you know, sharing the fun things that we're doing with this business. Obviously use attractive and high quality pictures, but, you know, share the benefits that you're experiencing by doing this business. You're able to work either part-time, full-time, be your own boss, work from anywhere, set your own schedule, and, you know, determine your own destiny, right? Live life on your own terms. And so in general, as you're using social media, right, we obviously want to promote and sell our products and provide those great product solutions. And generate customers. We also want to build an organization, right, and empower other people to be successful with this as well. And so what we recommend is, you know, you're exposing people with your posts, right? You want to involve them, you know, by, you know, maybe having them get a product experience or having them sign up and you know, and having them maybe do some posts. We want to upgrade them by showing them the compensation plan, showing them the bigger business, and showing them that, hey, this can be something much bigger than just a temporary fix to supplement your income while you're, you know, while the economy, you know, while you're stuck at home. Right. And so it could, and show them that vision of like, hey, this is what the future could look like. Here's the average incomes. Here's what's possible, right? Establishing good expectations, but people don't know what they don't know. Right. And so, you know, you want to make sure you do a very good job of saying, hey, this is what we have to offer. Right. And making sure, like for me personally, I want to make sure everybody sees a business presentation. They see the compensation plan. And so that way they know what's out there. It's not just sign up and post and throw something out there, post and pray, and hope something good comes from it. But, you know, typically it's like, hey, I want them to see a full business presentation. I want them to see the compensation plan. I want to set goals, talk about their goals. I want to, you know, get them to an event. Maybe it's just a Zoom call with your team. Maybe you get them on the OTG lives in the morning so they can start learning from successful leaders. And so, you know, just to kind of wrap things up, we're still launching the US, you know, so many more people are going to be open and looking for what we have. And so we want to be able to share that with them. And so, you know, I love sharing this here, that how many success stories do you need to hear before you create your own? Because there's always the uncertainty of, can I really do this? Who's going to join my business? Is it really going to happen for me? And I'll tell you what, that sometimes you just have to shut your mind off, because just thinking about it will paralyze you, right? Analysis paralysis. But if you can get into action, then you get this momentum going. And there's such a good feeling that comes when you can lay down at night and say, you know what, I gave it my all today. And that it builds confidence, and you start to believe in yourself and realize, you know what, I deserve to be successful because I'm out there putting in the work and working hard at this. And so my challenge to you guys is to say, hey, you know what? Crazy stuff happening in the world, but there's a lot of opportunity. So put your head down and go see who you can serve today, and go out there and create your own success story. So thank you so much, and we'll see you guys around.
Awesome, brother. I had to make sure, or as you were closing, I had to stop real quick because I was taking notes myself. Amazing stuff. Really appreciate you, Nick, from sharing some of just value, man, of how we can pivot in today's world and leverage technology. That's awesome. So our next speaker, as you can see coming up, is Miss Christina Cooper-Gomes. She is amazing. She is so much fun. She actually got me and convinced me to dance on stage topless at our last event. So she has the power of persuasion, people. And of all things in today's world, she is a crisis therapist. She is a mom. She's been with Nu Skin about 3 years. She's earned multiple success trips, and she is going to come on and kind of talk about some practical steps in today's world, as you can see, how to kind of personally brand yourself while you're in this state of quarantine, right? So Christina, would you take it away and share your wisdom with us, please?
All right, you guys. Well, thank you so much, Jason. And you did a great job dancing on stage. So for those of you guys that I have not had the opportunity to meet, welcome. I know this is worldwide right now, and it's so amazing. I'm so nervous right now, but I'm so excited to share with you my story and then what we can do right now today. So maybe a little bit deeper into, Nick did such a great job telling you guys exactly what we do, how our system works, but I'm going to give you some prime examples, because sometimes, especially being in our homes right now, we tend to get in our own heads. And so that being said, I'm 29 years old. I am a crisis therapist full time, and then I do Nu Skin in the evenings and weekends. I'm a mom. I have a baby who's almost 2, and then my husband, Tyler, who's also my biggest supporter. So we've been with the business about 3 years. And I'm going to share this. There we go. All right. So just a little bit about my background. So I actually started the business 3 years ago. I wasn't really looking for an opportunity, but I was aware of social media. And thank goodness that you guys that are on here right now, obviously you're online, you're on social media. So just pat yourself on the back for being aware of what's happening in the world right now. So that was kind of, things were starting to be shared on social media a couple of years ago. People were starting businesses on social media, and this toothpaste caught my attention. So I decided to hop on board. I figured, why not? I had some debts that I wanted to work on and work off, and a lot of other things that I wanted to be able to do with my life that my salary cap was not going to allow me to do. So within that, we decided to start the business full throttle, and we just jumped in, meaning I jumped in and my husband thought I was crazy. So those of you guys that may have started without your family supporting you, I was one of those. And there are still family members that think I'm absolutely wild and crazy, and that's totally fine. But within that, we are where we want to be, and we're living the life that we want to live and that we know we deserve and that our kids deserve. So we actually earned 3 success trips with the company. So we've been to South Africa. We deemed it our baby moon because I was 30 weeks pregnant when we went. We took our little one to Bermuda 6 months after that. So he had a passport when he was 3 weeks old. And then we just got back, about 6 months ago, we got back from Ireland, and we extended our trip, and we went to Scotland and we went to London. And honestly, it was like the trip of a lifetime for us. So our life now, we are building our dream home. So we're actually breaking ground on our dream home this month. We decided to move out into the country, follow a dream of ours, just up and did it about 4 weeks ago. And we're going to have our house on top of the mountain, and we're really excited about that. So our forever home with our family, and to focus on the things that we want to and to grow together, which all of these things and the pictures that you guys are seeing would not have been possible if we hadn't started and looked into the business. So we're really grateful to be where we are today and to have the memories that we do and that we know we're going to have in the future as we're here. Okay, so what exactly is branding and attraction marketing, especially now because so many of us are home, right? Like pretty much almost all of us are home. And if you guys are going into work, you're quarantining yourself in your office. So we are on social media. I'm sure you have breaks and different things like that where you're looking at your phones, or honestly, you're probably going there for some type of entertainment right now. So branding is how people notice you guys on social media, how your audience perceives you. And I really, like, my biggest thing within this is that we have the ability to influence others right now more than ever. So how you make people feel about themselves says everything about you. What I've noticed, and especially looking at this as a therapist into social media right now, is that there's a spectrum, and people are choosing one side of the spectrum on social media. So they're either choosing full-blown crisis panic mode. The posts that they're posting are kind of negative, scary, like they're scared, apocalypse, all these other things that they're throwing out there, conspiracies. I mean, it gets scary, right? If you just dive into that. And then you have the other end of the spectrum, which is humor. And it's just humor's the way that people are coping right now. And that's okay, right? That's a normal thing. But what can we do? How are we going to stand out? And how are we going to overcome not choosing, one side of the spectrum? But how can we be that gray area in the middle that the world needs right now more than ever? Okay, so I want to throw a disclaimer out there. So all the strategies I'm going to go over with you guys work, but I want you to know it takes time, especially because social media is so overcrowded right now, given that that's really what people are doing all day long is, spending some time with family, doing some things here and there, but they're spending so much time on their phones and on social media. So just know that it's not going to happen overnight. And my goal is just to help us become the best professionals in the business together. Okay. So your story, whoops, sorry guys. I don't know why it's not working. Oh, I apologize. So your story is your best asset, you guys. So I'm really most of these you'll just want to take screenshots of as I'm going through them. But essentially right now, you can begin your story. So where you are right now, where were you before Nu Skin? So if you started Nu Skin before and you're like kind of not sure, go back there. Where were you? What were you doing before then? And then you guys that are just looking into the business right now, like, what does your life look like right now? What does your day look like right now? Are you just looking for, you know, positivity to have in your life, a good community to be around? Do you need help financially? Are you willing to put in the work and the time to do that? Or do you need good products to help you feel good and look good and remain healthy, right? And then how did you get introduced to the company? Tell people how you learned about it, right? Trust is built, you know, really through people. That's why most people don't do advertising through commercials anymore. It's that we're willing to trust people that have learned about something else through their family, through their friends. How was your experience? How has your experience been? And then where do you see yourself going? All right, so branding begins at your OMG post. So Nick talked about this. It's a post that you put up after you do a product post, and it just talks about the ability that you were able to start a business from home, from your phone, without having to necessarily, you know, there's no type of sign up fee or anything like that, which is awesome, right? And telling people about that, that's when it first starts. Then I really like to encourage my team members to go live on Facebook. And a lot of the examples I'm going to share with you guys today are live videos. Like, people are going to watch you live because they want to see if you're going to screw up. And that's okay, because you're human, you guys. So if it's like some pre-recorded thing, it doesn't feel real to them. Like, we need realism. We need the real raw. We're home in our pajamas working other jobs, which we don't know what's going on and what's going to happen, right? So be honest with people. If you're scared, you can talk about it. But the biggest thing is talk about the good stuff. Talk about how excited you are to be a part of a good community. Talk about the positive things that are going on in your life, all that sort of thing, sort of thing. So taking that OMG post and kind of just going live about it. Because 90% of what's being absorbed on social media is actually video, and your energy is contagious. So make sure that when you go live, it's because you're excited about something. If you just, my biggest thing as far as the quarantine has been, I'm grateful for the ability to learn how to cook, because I haven't until now. And so I'm sharing those things on my, you know, on my feed. I'm talking about them because it's relatable. Okay. All right, so all aboard the train. This is a metaphor that I like to use, and I think Nick paints a really great picture. You guys think about just hearing Nick Jackson speak. Like, do you have a doubt in your mind that he is not going to get to where he wants to be? No way, shape, or form. He knows, because he's made the decision, right? We don't want to hop on somebody's train if they don't know where it's going to end, right? Like, I don't want to get on a train in the middle of Europe if I don't know where I'm going. Like, I want to know where it's going to end up and where it's going to go. So you guys have to decide that. And right now, today, it may be, look, I don't know what's coming up next, and none of us really know what's happening or what's going to happen. But I'm going to add some positivity to my life, and I'm going to be able to impact others. And I really want to impact my family in a way, whether that's financially, health-wise, or just having a positive attitude and choosing to have that around your family, especially your kids, and kind of what we're doing as we're in this crisis. All right. Sorry, guys, I don't know why it's not going next. There we go. Okay, so here's an example. The biggest question I get is, how should my Facebook page look, and how should my Instagram page look? If you guys don't have Instagram, I don't want you to focus on like, oh, I need to go get an Instagram. Like, it's fine if you don't. If your friends and your biggest platform is Facebook, just focus on that. So these are just some examples of having your name, not having like some funny, I have like a lot of people that would create these funny things and they don't really have their name, especially on Instagram. But the best thing to do is just put your name on there. So as you're meeting people on social media, it's easier for them to find you on multiple platforms. And then tell them a little bit about yourself in the bio. So, you know, I'm a mom, and I'm a wife, and I'm a therapist, and, you know, all of those different types of things. So just who you are and what you do. Your cover photo is important, so it can be like a good quote, or I mean, often I recommend people doing like a family photo or a place you visited before or something like that. And then your profile picture, really good, solid photo of you with no sunglasses on, smiling, looking happy, bright, you know, those types of things, so people can clearly see you. You guys have 30 seconds to catch somebody's attraction on social media. Think about it. When you're stalking people on social media, because let's be real, we all do, you probably scroll on someone's page for less than 30 seconds until you've decided decide whether you want to keep scrolling and you're interested, or you're kind of like, no, don't want to be friends with that person. So you have to think the same thing when you're looking at your profiles as you guys are editing these. The highlight photos as well, so you'll see those like photos in the middle. You can actually put your favorite photos, places you've been, things you've done, what you're doing during quarantine, your favorite place in the house that you're hanging out during quarantine, whatever you want to do, you could put that in there. And then ask yourself every time you guys post, are you creating curiosity? Just like Nick said, it's not like, hey, join my team, join my business, everybody's screwed. We all like, you know, I know that there are a lot of us that we know that, we feel that, but you want to create a place where people are being, you know, you're pulling them in instead of pushing them away. Are you being relatable? So are you kind of putting yourself up on a pedestal where people feel like, oh, I can't do that because her pictures are perfect and she must have a photographer that follows her every day and takes them a really great Instagram husband. But more so like, oh, okay, that girl's in her pajamas on her couch with her kids like bombarding her. Her hair's not done. She's holding her cell phone and she has a picture of herself, you know, just making money on social media, which is cool. And then are you being yourself, and are you being the cat or the dog? So this is a metaphor that I actually got from Cheryl Edmonds, and it's more so like, so those of you guys that have animals or have been around animals, you have a dog and you come home, and before you even get home, the dog's scratching at the door, and you come inside and the dog jumps on you and he probably pees on your feet. All you want to do is just stick them out in the yard, shut the screen, and just be done with them, right? Because they're just driving you crazy and you can still hear them barking, okay? Now a cat, when you come home, they're like, oh, hey, and maybe they'll let you pet them, and then they go and lay in the sun and they're kind of like in their own little world. So we want to be the cool cats, meaning we don't want to be the dogs that are just like, hey, join my business. You should join my business. Like, what are you doing? Are you working today? Like, what are you doing? Like all those different types of things. Like, are you being that type of person when you're on social media? It's so crucial to ask yourself those questions. Okay, so next, these are just points I want you guys to screenshot, take a picture of, as far as like how to share right now, utilizing stories. The products are important. Your product testimonies are important, yes, but remember, people are buying into you, your story, what's happening for your life as you guys are home in quarantine or as you're still working, and being the light. You guys, we have an opportunity to be the light for so many people all over the world. Just be yourselves. Talk about good things that are happening in your house. I saw a post today from Abby Gibson talking about, you know, hey, like I've just been looking at the world a little bit differently, and I'm really grateful for these things. What are you guys grateful for? And people were just engaging like crazy because we're pulling out the positivity, and people are attracted to that, and we're going to attract in more positive people as we continue to do that. All right, so this one is examples of engagement posts and, you know, life posts that you guys could do right now in quarantine. So here we have a picture, Carol and Oscar De La Rosa, their daughter, with her gloves on. So she's ready for the life. And they also hashtag that they're working from their phones. So they're creating curiosity. People are like, how are they working from home, working from their phones? Vanessa posted something yesterday that I thought was great. Remember, humor's still okay, you guys, and it attracts in a lot of engagement on social media. But she put a map of her house and said, looking at the map for some weekend travel ideas. So it's just creating that type of world. Here we have Savannah and Matthew's daughter, Bella Mia, and in South Africa. And she actually shared, she went live last week, and she shared about how we can choose to be positive and be happy even with everything that's going on, which I thought was pretty great coming from a little one. People want to see that type of stuff. And then you guys, here's some examples of engagement posts. So if you guys are you're someone who works out, say, hey guys, who wants to start a workout group? I know some people actually in our leadership have decided to have like happy hour every day where they get on a Zoom call together and they just hang out, have some snacks and things like that and just talk. And so starting anything like that, or, you know, asking people for recipe ideas, asking people for ideas of what to do with their kids during the day, all those things are so crucial right now, and they will create engagement. All right, and then, I mean, I threw this in really for Charlie Patterson, but how many times have you guys watched Frozen 2 since it's come out? So that one also went viral, so feel free to post that as well. All right, so here we have some examples that you guys can take a picture of. It's gonna go back in just a second. of personal branding posts around the business, right? So what we just talked about really didn't have anything to do with the business. These definitely do. So you have Lindsay Fowler, and she's just laying there with their daughter, and her daughter just told her, like, Mom, I'm just so excited that you get to be home during spring break and you don't have to go to work. I think that was before quarantine, but it's still crucial and it's still a good one. We have a picture of somebody posting a really, really cute picture of their daughter, and just quarantine couldn't be any cuter with this little one. Donna did an amazing post yesterday from South Africa about her story and what's going on, and that she's not worried right now because she has a business from home. That speaks to people. Alicia did a live about, you know, what do you need right now? Maybe I can help. That's such a pull energy, right? Because I'm thinking, okay, what are all the things that are going on in my life? Maybe she can help me. What is she talking about? I want to go and watch that. Marianne from Mexico did an amazing one about, you know, what you focus on matters. So where we choose to put our mind and our attention and things, so she's just radiating that and bringing in that positivity. And then I did one this week about what's going on, how are people feeling, and if they're looking for, you know, means, we're here to help them. All right, here's some, just go ahead and take a picture of this. It just goes through Instagram stories, kind of some how-tos and some rules as far as products and your life and those types of things. And then here's an example of that you can also take a photo of. So this is how I like to teach and train my team to share product. So essentially take a picture of the product, say a little bit about it, do a video or a photo of you using it, do your own before and after picture, and then do social proof. So somebody else that's done, that's used the product and had results as well. And if it's someone you know, it's way better because you can tag them too in your stories. And then a call to action, asking people if they like information or details. You can take a picture of that too. All righty. And then recognition is a win-win, you guys, especially right now. People want good. They want to feel good. They want to find something good to read. And so recognizing that people are growing their businesses and they're, you know, exceeding in what they want to do, and they're seeing success and they're feeling good, and we're having a sense of community. People need that right now. So don't be afraid to share that. Although I know that it might be difficult to think, okay, there's so many bad things that are unfortunate that are going on. Like, I feel guilty. Like, I've had people say, I feel guilty sharing the good things that are going on in my life and that my business is growing and all those types of things. Guys, it's okay. People are attracted to that, and you have no idea how hard so many people out there may be praying to see something like that, and reach out to you. All right, here's some do's and don'ts. So as far as the algorithms are concerned, sharing things on social media, I know there's some like addicts out there that just love to click that share button of all those cats and those glitter beards and things, but try really hard to just completely get rid of that. If you see something funny and you've got to share it, or you see some information that has to be shared, click the share button and share it in a personal message with somebody that you can think of that you know would want to have that information, not putting it on your page. So Facebook is like a point system. So every time you click the share button, you're getting about -50 in Facebook land, okay, in points. Every time that you put something that's your own authentic content, that has your own pictures, that has your own, you know, you've actually typed it out, that's your own content, and you post it and you get some comments and you reply and things like that, you get +50. So you got to think, you're probably not doing that as many times as you're sharing things. So we got to just stop that. And then negative content attracts negative people. Let's bring more positivity in. And you guys just be yourself. Post about yourself. Don't be scared. It doesn't matter if you live in a 1-bedroom studio apartment, or if you are living on the go right now, or if you're stuck on a cruise ship right now and you have Wi-Fi. Like, your life matters, and where you are right now matters, and people need to be able to relate with that, because it's not only you. We're all in this together, and we're just starting to come out and talk about it a little bit more, so they're going to feel pulled to you. And then just have energy, have fun. So the last thing I want to leave you guys with, is life is a gift, and it offers us the privilege, opportunity, and the responsibility to give back and become more. So this is one of those opportunities. It's completely up to you. I am so honored and grateful to have found Nu Skin and to have shared with you guys today. Thank you so much.
Well, I'll pick it up from there. And let me just say that, oh my goodness, was that hour plus packed with great information, with great energy, and frankly, with a blueprint for how to get from where you are to where you want to go. I just love these people. I hope you have as well. And you know, these are people who have been presenting this kind of information at Team Elite University month after month. So there's no secret as to why they are where they are. So, you know, with each of these 3 sessions, I wanted to be sure that we had our disclaimers on. And so let me just say that, you know, the Nu Skin products are not designed for the cure, treatment, or cure of disease. If you have a known health situation of any kind, see a qualified healthcare professional. And that in our business, it is a business that we earn our money. It's by people using our products, buying our products. We love our customers, our members. And so that's what this is all about. This is a business that is free to join. There is no obligation for a certain anything to get started, but it just makes sense to work within the coaching parameters of the team that you're working with, to be directed and be open to their coaching. And you'll learn the step-by-step of what it would take to be able to earn building a business with us, whether that's just gig-oriented income or beginning to build a team. And you've been hearing references to both. With that, let me just say that we're going to take a 2-minute break. We're going to stop this Facebook Live right now, and we will be back in 2 minutes with part 3. And you don't want to miss part 3. The speakers in part 3, going right to the very end, are well worth your energy, time, and note-taking. And in fact, you might take these 2 minutes to get other people on your team to be plugged in to what we're going to do next. So 2 minutes from now, see you then.